Welcome to Cut the BS, Build a Dream. I'm Brittney Kosev, broker owner of BK Real Estate, entrepreneur, investor, single mom, and someone who went from school librarian to business owner by refusing to buy into excuses. This is the show where we talk real, no fluff, no sugarcoating, just the truth about what it really takes to change your life, build wealth, and become the person your dreams require you to be. So let's get after it. Today's real talk is about resilience, not the Instagram quote BS version that everyone says, oh, it just means bounce back. Keep smiling. I'm talking about real resilience, the kind forged in suffering, the kind that requires this radical self-honesty, the kind that lets you stand in front of your own failures and say, I will figure this shit out. I will grow, because the truth is, life isn't going to spare you. The market doesn't care. Your emotions don't pay the bills, and your dreams don't build themselves, but you can. So let's cut the BS and let's get into the real work. So let's talk about resilience. And like I said, most people think resilience means bouncing back. But bouncing back means you're just returning to the same version of yourself that can't handle that shit in the first place. That's not resilience. Real resilience is post-traumatic growth. Hear that again. Real resilience is post-traumatic growth. When something catastrophic happens, like a divorce, a failed business, losing a job, you don't want to recover to who you were. You want to become someone better. You want to say, okay, this was hard. It hurt. It broke me open. Now, how do I make sure I'm stronger next time? And that question, it changes everything, because life isn't fair. Shit will go wrong, and your job is to make sure it wasn't for nothing. And so it's important to ask empowering questions. And when you do that, when you're asking empowering questions of yourself, of the situation, of the circumstance, you get empowering answers. Instead of saying, why me? Try, what can I learn from this? How can I use this? How can I help someone else with this later? Because that's the real difference between staying stuck and growing from it. And so pause for a second. Think about the last time something didn't go your way. What was it? What questions did you ask yourself? Did you use it to beat yourself up, or did you use it to grow? I'm guilty of beating myself up when things don't happen correctly. And really what I've learned over the years is that's just pity. I'm just having a little pity party when I'm beating myself up, because the world, the universe, it doesn't want that. It doesn't want you beating yourself up. And so what can you do about it? Well, the first thing is chosen suffering. And that's like training for the hard things that are going to hit you in life. There's unchosen suffering in life. Unchosen suffering is deaths, maybe divorce, unless you initiated it. But I can assure you that if you got into a marriage, you didn't want it to end at the time that it did. It could be economic downturns, betrayal, illness. You don't get to choose when those things happen, but you can choose to train for it. Everybody's on these cold plunge kicks right now, and I have to say I jumped on board. I love cold plunging. And yes, I tell myself this is all anti-inflammatory. It's so good for my muscles. It aids in recovery, all that shit. But honestly, that's not why I do it. I do it because it fucking sucks. It's chosen suffering. When I step into that freezing water in the morning, I'm telling myself I can do hard things. That's literally what I put on repeat in my head. I can do hard things. I can do hard things. I'm practicing discomfort on my terms so that when real discomfort shows up on life's terms, I'm ready for it. You cannot wait for everything to be perfect to start living your life. There's no green light, no perfect timing. You have to practice chosen suffering so you're ready for the unchosen suffering that life is going to give you. It's guaranteed. And so let me tell you about one of the hardest decisions I've ever made in my business. Like I said, I'm the broker owner of BK Real Estate, and this market right now, at least in Texas and some other states like Texas, it's been tough. And here recently, I had to cut salaries, and not just for employees. My employees are my family. I have two siblings that work for my company. I've got an assistant that's like a sister. My mom is on the payroll because she helps with the kids and cleaning and all the things. These are people I love, people who have trusted me, and it tore me up. I lost sleep. I cried. I beat myself up, like I told you earlier. I was calling myself a failure. I heard, "You're not a good leader. You're letting everyone down." But that voice, that was pity. That was fear, because leadership isn't about avoiding hard decisions. Leadership is choosing the hard right over the easy wrong. It would have been so much easier to do nothing, to let the company keep climbing deeper and deeper into a hole. But I can't do that. That's not what real leaders do. Instead, I decided to make hard decisions. I decided to choose the hard path instead of the easy way. My company is going to be stronger for it. My family, even though they might not feel it in the moment, will be stronger for it. And I will be stronger for it. Nothing about that was a failure. It was a pivot. Resilience doesn't mean ignoring the pain. It means making sure that pain wasn't wasted. It means growing from it. And once again, let me have you reflect. What hard decision are you avoiding right now? Maybe it's not cutting salaries. Maybe it's something else in your life, in your business, in your relationships. Where are you letting fear or pity for yourself stop you from doing what needs to be done? And the next thing I want to talk about is that discomfort again. Discomfort is the price of admission for growth. Growth does not live in your comfort zone. If you're always choosing the easy path, you're not getting stronger, you're getting softer. And you're setting yourself up to collapse when life gets hard. That's why you have to embrace discomfort, seek it out, go plunge into that cold water. You want success in business? Well, then get ready for rejection. Get ready for tough negotiations, uncomfortable truths. If you want a strong relationship, get ready to be vulnerable. Real conversations, staying when it's hard. You want to change your body? Well, then you're going to have to sweat. You're going to be sore. You're going to be hungry. Comfort is the lie that keeps you stuck. But discomfort, it's the catalyst that can transform you. And when you practice this, when you're building resilience, it requires relentless fucking honesty. No sugarcoating, no pretending, the kind of honesty where you look in the mirror and you own it. Your choices, your mindset, your results, and you cannot make excuses anymore. For me, and the decision I was telling you about recently in my business, I had to look in the mirror and take ownership. I should have been making these decisions months ago, but I kept waiting. I kept pushing. I kept hoping that the market was going to be better and I wouldn't have to do it. But that wasn't ownership. That was just me avoiding pain. And we make excuses all the time. It's too cold outside. I don't want to go for a run. Or I don't want to call my leads. They're probably going to think that I'm just trying to sell them something. Well, yeah, you are, but you've got to put the reps in. You can say things like, well, I'm the only single mom at the PTA. I'm the only entrepreneur in our family. I'm the only woman in the room. I'm the only gay person. I'm whatever it is. But you're not the only one that thinks this way. Maybe those are real obstacles, but maybe they're also a story in your head keeping you stuck. You cannot control the world, but you can control yourself. No one can sell you the skills you need to be better in business. You can't buy the experience you need. It all takes time. It takes energy. It takes repetition. And the second you stop blaming other people or circumstances, that's the second you start getting better. That's called extreme ownership. And with it, guys, when you start taking ownership of this, when you start putting in the reps and you start building the consistency so that you have the resilience you need, you're going to fail. You're going to fail along the way. But failure is not the end. Failure is feedback. Failure is data. It's your first, second, third, fourth, fifth attempt. You don't fail when you try and you fall short. You fail when you stop trying. And you have to teach yourself to fail properly. Break it down, analyze it, ask yourself, what did I miss? How can I get better? And that's how you grow. For me, when I was asking myself these hard questions about my business, I looked back and I realized I was avoiding for months this hard decision. I did not want to look at the budget and keep seeing these numbers go down. And I was missing it. instead of addressing it, seeing it, and pivoting. But that's how you grow, guys. The dragons in your life guarding the treasure, right? The dragons in your life don't get smaller. You just get better at slaying them. Dan Martell says every level has a devil. Every single time you level up, it's just going to get another hard decision in your way. You have a dragon guarding each of the treasures in your life. Just get better and better at slaying them. Carl Jung, the late and great, said, "The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek." And he has this philosophy around your persona and your shadow side. Well, your shadow side, the part you're afraid to face, that's where your growth is. And you can't run from it. You have to learn to walk in it. And I'm not talking about optimism here. I'm talking about strategy. That's how you win. Let me tell you a positive story right now. It is July 7th today, and over the holiday weekend for Independence Day, we went up to Kansas, my kids and I. My dad lives there with 4 of my other siblings. And in Kansas, around 4th of July, it's like the Wild West, I swear. They have this rule of pop it where you buy it. So if you bought fireworks at one of the city fireworks stands, you can pop it in the city. That was crazy to me because here where I live, you have to go outside of city limits to pop fireworks. Otherwise, the police are going to come, the neighbors are going to call, all the things. But there, everybody was sitting outside in my dad's neighborhood in this cul-de-sac with freaking huge fireworks. It was really cool, but also it was really scary. And let me tell you what happened. So my daughter, she's 12. And we've never popped fireworks like this. And my dad came home from the fireworks stand after spending $500 on fireworks. And he had, I don't even know, a whole truckload of artillery shell, basically fireworks. And when they started going off, she was terrified. My brave, beautiful 12-year-old daughter had her hands over her ears, crying and begging to leave. And the easy thing would have been for her to just go inside, put earbuds in, and let it go. But she didn't want to. And I didn't want her to learn that fear always means run. So I got down on her level and I said, "Hey, let's just be curious. Let's watch it from further back. Let's see what it's like together." I didn't push her, but I invited her to curiosity over reactivity. And by the end of the night, she was watching with big eyes. She was smiling. And then she asked if I would help her do a Roman candle. A Roman candle is one that you hold and it shoots little sparks into the air. And so we went out together and we held hands and we did this Roman candle. Next thing I knew, she was doing it herself. And then she was asking my dad if she could help light the artillery shells. It wasn't that the fireworks got quieter or less scary. It's that she opened up to the opportunity on the other side of fear. Guys, that's resilience. It's not about avoiding fear. It's about meeting it with friendly curiosity. It's about saying, I wonder what happens if I stay here just a little bit longer. And if my daughter, a 12-year-old, a child can learn that, so can we. We're strong, capable adults. There is no excuse not to practice this because that's the shadow side. That's the cave that you enter in fear that has the treasure. And so again, let me ask you something. Where in your life are you choosing avoidance over curiosity? What fear could you lean into? Just enough to see what's on the other side. Because at the end of the night, on the 4th of July at 3 a.m., I was laying in bed and I just kept thinking about my daughter smiling, lighting these fireworks with her head back, looking up into the sky. She wouldn't have been able to see the beauty there if she hadn't have faced her fears. And the same thing is going to be true for my business. I know it. Right now, I'm scared and I'm holding the Roman candle, hoping that it's going to get better, but I'm not going to stop until I see the fireworks at the end. So if this hit for you today, then share it. I hope you'll take what we talked about. I hope you use it because knowledge without action is worthless. So share this with someone else who needs that push. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And every single day, guys, ask yourself, how do I cut the BS to get closer to my dream? Is it the resilience that you need? Is it the fear you need to cut? I'm Brittney Kosev. Thanks for being here. Keep going. I promise you're closer than you think.